Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, streaming live on the web at WLCNonline.com. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, Joe Ryan with you this morning at Jake's Furnishings. Good morning, fellas.
Good day.
Morning. I've kind of missed you guys. Been a few weeks.
It's been a couple of days, Joe. Yeah.
Well, from these
no hospitality room here, eh?
These clowns. Is there a hospitality room out at Jake's?
Well, you got to have your credentials. I hope everybody had a happy holidays. Christmas was last week. It is 2016.
Good Christmas.
Yeah.
Good Christmas, man.
Our New Year's resolution is to be a better show.
Well,
I don't know how that's possible.
We're going to get off to a very good start today. I'm telling you that. We've got guests canceling left and right. It's sunshine out, so a lot of people are outside doing yard work.
There could be some top
Hard work. It's 20 degrees.
Did you guys get any rain since we were here? Since we were here last?
No, thank goodness. But a lot of rain. A lot of people's basements flooded. I'm sorry if you tried to call Joe. He didn't answer his phone. He was in line trying to get some Chick-fil-A in the hospitality room. If your basement's flooded.
Some of that Prairie Farms milk.
At one time I walked in there and they said, "Oh, Chick-fil-A just got here. They've got nuggets over here." And I kind of looked at the other guys and went, I'll take a small box of that.
They knew him by name when hey, Joe, what's up? They had him a plate ready.
They're texting him prior to showing up. Hey,
Joe, where you at?
We'll have food here in 3 minutes, man. Don't
I had a lot of responsibility over there. You guys don't understand the stress.
He did. He was like our security.
Pins and needles. He'd forget to turn the camera on and off.
Oh boy.
Comnick needed help. Benjamin needed help. There's a lot going on.
Everybody needed help. Speaking of Collinsville tournament, the Lincoln Railers come out of that 2-2. We play a North Zumwalt team at the beginning. Kind of up and down game. Railers just kind of came out flat in the first half. End up turning around, win that one. And then we take on an East St. Louis team, and that game was up and down as well. We're up by 8 or 9. And then before you know it, we're down by 13. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think the Raiders were going to come back just the way we were shooting the ball. We go in at halftime, and something was said, and they came out second half and went on it. We didn't even score in the second quarter.
You didn't even look good in the third quarter till halfway through it.
Right. Second quarter, we didn't even score.
Yeah.
And, that's just unlike a Railer team, not to be even put up 1 point. But
Lloyd, go out there and find out when's the last time Lincoln basketball didn't score in a quarter. Yeah.
The last time, yeah. But they turned that one around, and then we face a MacArthur team, very athletic team. We're going to see them 2 more times at least. They come out, and our kids are flat. We're, no excuses, but makes for a long day, sitting around like that. And, you play East St. Louis in the morning, up and down the court, sit around, go get something to eat, play that night, a little flat, and then we come out Wednesday and lose to a Quincy team that just shot lights out.
They played before us, so they had a longer even day to sit around than we
Quincy?
did.
Yeah.
No,
or MacArthur? Yeah, they did. And, it is what it is. MacArthur is a solid team, and we got to look at them. Now we know what to expect. And
decent size on their team, too, isn't it?
Decent, yeah. They're just so athletic,
MacArthur's a good team, and then we watched that championship game, and they got beat by 30.
Oh, Belleville-Altoff, that's your state champions right there.
They're good, yeah.
They're very good. They had 4 kids on the all-tournament team. I saw Mizzou there. They're scouting number 23. What's his name, Joe?
Ryan? Was it Ryan?
No, it wasn't Ryan.
Joe Ryan.
I can't even think of his name now. But, so good time for the kids. Great atmosphere. We had a good...
How tight was the Lanphier? Didn't Lanphier MacArthur, that's who played to play us? Is that right or no? Southeast, yeah. How tight was that game, Southeast and MacArthur? Do you remember?
That was tied towards the end of the game. Ended up MacArthur beat Southeast by like 2 points. Southeast came back, tied it up at 61, I think, and MacArthur finished it with a few seconds to go, 1 by 2.
Yeah, they were. That team was very talented. That won it all.
Well, Central State 8's going to be tough again this year, though, man. I mean, it's every year, year in, year out.
I mean, you got Lanphier. They're favored right now. MacArthur.
And Lanphier's beatable. I mean, it's not like it's a team that looks like they're going to run away with win after win. You know,
every team's beatable. You know, if our kids come out shooting like they can, and that's
hustling.
that's the main thing right now. Shooting and hustling. We're always going to be overmatched in size. We're going to, as long as we box out, be aggressive, go get the ball. At this point in time, I don't really think size matters. It's just go getting the job done. Because, Jim says size does matter. Jim, I can still hear you.
And we're going to go to commercial break.
And we're back.
So Railers, they're going to bounce back. We have a game Tuesday at Southeast, so we're going to get a good look Tuesday. One of those rare during the week games. So
I was thinking it was Lanphier at Southeast.
Southeast, and I think we have Lanphier Friday.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so we're getting in the heat of things right now at Central State 8. A lot of games coming up. Just like that. It just seems like yesterday we were playing in the Thanksgiving tournament, and now, Christmas is over, and now we get into the thick of things, and,
they did. You lose that game, but Lincoln had a lot of shots that just didn't go down. Missed a few layups, bounced around the rim, go the other way, they get the rebound. There's a lot of times where we could have really hung around in that game more, except for the ball just wouldn't go down for us.
Yeah, and they couldn't miss. I think they shot at one point 69% from three-point line. Their number 10, was it 10 or 30? 31. Hit 10 three-pointers. That kid couldn't miss. He had a Garrett Isles type of night.
He was a lefty.
And he was a lefty. And, we were running at him. Not all of them were open looks. And, if he threw it up, it was going in. Nothing you can do about that. He was taking NBA shots, too, and nailing them.
They said I think Josh said at one point in time he was 8 of 10, which is pretty solid.
What is that?
That's pretty decent.
That's around 62.7%.
Yeah. Try 80, Joe.
Gosh, you're smart.
Oh, man.
Well, Joe is a game host, too.
Oh, yeah?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Alex Trebek, Steve Harvey,
kind of all rolled
Chuck
into one.
Worley.
Worley.
Wallaby. They have nothing on this guy here. He was so believable playing Family Feud. Family Feud that he would look up to the board and everybody's looking at the wall. There's no board for the answer. It was great. It was a good time. Parents had a good time. Kids have a good time. It's nice to get away for a little bit and get in that atmosphere of basketball and
get some good food.
Get some good hospitality food. He didn't spend a dime. He didn't spend a dime all weekend. He would. I think he was shoveling stuff in a book bag for Michelle. Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed I didn't get a Prairie Farms jacket thing.
Yeah, he was working on Brian Curry for a Prairie Farms jacket and
couldn't get one of those. Yeah. So those are nice pullovers over there.
Yeah.
And Prairie Farms. Who doesn't need some of that in their refrigerator?
Who doesn't like chocolate milk after running up and down the court for an hour and a half?
I know. Talking about basketball, Central State 8, Lanphier, I believe, pulled off they did win their third Pekin title in 4 years. So they had a good run there at the Pekin Holiday Tournament as well. So
what was the kid's name? Somebody had like 47 points on him. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. I was trying to pull that up, actually.
I had against Lanphier?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Bishop.
For
Lanphier? I think for Lanphier. Yeah, Bishop.
Come on, Joe.
Hold on a second. Bishop had 47 or the kid playing him? I thought it was a kid playing him had 47.
Here it is. For the tournament, Bishop averaged 24.8 points per game on 47% shooting from the floor. Nope, I don't have it here.
47%. I can do that.
No, you can't.
47% shooting for the game?
No, you can't do that.
Oh, say what?
No. Would you have anybody guarding you?
Look at his face.
Would you have anybody guarding you?
Well, I don't know if they can stay up.
If there was other people on the floor, doesn't matter which end of the floor, I don't think you could shoot 47%.
If they would,
including open layups.
He could have had all layups and missed half.
No, I'm talking about for you.
He's saying that you could shoot layups with nobody guarding you.
Oh, quit.
And still, you're under 50%.
You
You're
know,
under
this is New Year's, and one of my resolutions is to become a better basketball player.
Nice.
One of my things.
That's one of the resolutions. Uh-oh. Incoming. What
incoming.
in the world?
Is that you? Is that us? Oh. Hey, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
And they're gone.
We hung up on him.
Jim hung up on him.
That's all right.
Call back.
Oh, and they're
back.
Uh-oh.
All right, go ahead.
Are you there, caller?
Hello.
Yep.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, I just got shocked.
And we're back.
And we're back. You there?
Yes.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Coming in
Hey.
Who we talking with this morning?
Hey, it's Joel.
Hey, Joel, what's going on?
Joel.
I just saw you spinning on a bike. You talking right now?
Lou Griffith of Washington. I had the 40 points against Lancer.
Say that again?
Lou Griffith of Washington.
Lou Griffith of Washington.
Oh.
See, if you guys are going to bring up a subject,
that's why we have Joel out there.
Know the answer.
I did. I was right. It was against them, and they had 47 points. and what is this guy, 6'10" or something? How big is he?
No, he's a little guy.
That's what I thought.
Oh, good. That's encouraging. So, Joel, you were down in Collinsville. Give us your take on how the Raiders looked.
Well, I didn't see every game. I saw the first couple, and then I had to go back for work. But, I mean, obviously, the first couple games we shot it well, and there was a lot of hustle, a lot of guys on the floor, and then I didn't see the Quincy game or the game against MacArthur, so I can't really comment on that other than it sounded like.
Well, you can. Joe didn't see it either.
Rebounding was an issue, and maybe we looked a little flat.
Yeah, they looked a little flat, a little tired. Probably all of the above, along a few days down there, and.
Yeah, I think, when we shoot it well, we're going to be in most games. If we don't shoot it well and we don't at least get a decent share of, not the majority of it, just a decent share of the defensive rebounds, then we're, it's
right.
going to be going to have to rely on our shooting to be on from deep every game. And that's a lot of pressure on our shooters.
Absolutely.
Got to get the boards. So obviously you know a lot about the state of Illinois basketball. Is our champions from down there? Are they the Althoff? Is that our team that's going to go take the state championship this year?
Well, yeah, I think I don't see all these teams, but I see some stuff online, like on the Cube and stuff like that. But I think you'd have to say Althoff won and Morgan Park would be second, and then probably Lanphier, I'd say, is probably the third best team, and then I'd say go with Chicago Curry. They won the Pontiac tournament. They beat Simeon in the process. So those are probably your top 4 teams.
Right.
There you go. So Lanphier's that good again this year, huh?
Yeah, Lanphier's got 5 or 6 kids. They're probably going to play college basketball.
Well,
maybe just a couple of them will be Division I, but they're pretty good. The regular season, they're really good. They haven't had a very good run in the postseason under their current leadership, but so that remains to be seen. It seems like every year they're supposed to be the year, and they get to the postseason, and they kind of get out coached. So we'll see
how that goes.
Mr. Turner's learned any lessons or not. Or that's a lot of talent to not at least get to the sectional championship game, I'd say.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Did you get any Chick-fil-A when you were down there?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you get any Chick-fil-A when you were down there at the games?
No, I did not.
You got any New Year's resolutions you want to throw at us?
No, I don't do the New Year's resolutions. So, just to be a better guy at the scores table when you're there, Joe.
Yeah.
Drink more Fresca.
To be a better leader and to drink more Fresca. I'm proud of you, Joe.
Right.
All right, Joel, thanks for calling in, buddy. We'll talk to you. Talk to you later.
See you.
All right, hey, we need to take a commercial break. We come back, we're going to talk about the hot topic going around Lincoln right now. That's conference change. It was voted on about a week ago or so. So we're going to talk about that, get your guys' views on that and what we can expect. phone lines will be open if you want to call in and give us your opinion or concerns. I know there's a lot of concerns out there. Not a whole lot of information to pass out, but we'll do our best to tell you what we know.
And if you know something, call and tell us about it.
So, our phone lines are open, 737-3791. We will be back after these messages. You can dance if you want to.
We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. Let's see, we can go where we want to.
That's good stuff right there.
You can dance if you want to, but don't leave your friend Jake behind.
I'll tell you what.
If he doesn't want to dance, then,
Was that the men with hats or without hats?
Well, I don't know if they always had them on, so sometimes they were without hats.
Wasn't that the band, though?
Yeah.
Men with hats or without them?
Without? Oh, so they never did have a hat.
That could have been a trivia question. We could have won prizes on here.
Yeah.
Did those guys have hats or not?
Well, we got a hat right here.
That's a nice hat.
That's
America's team right there.
Yeah. America's.
Bear season's over.
Well, hey, let's get into it, fellas. Phone lines are open, 737-3791. Hot topic the past couple weeks, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Central State 8 no longer going to be in effect here in 2 years. Moving to the Apollo. Give us your take. I've heard nothing but bad things about it. Nothing positive. People say it's a football move.
Well, it's really closed off from the public of actually having actual answers of why it's happening and everything.
Well, they did set up public hearings, and they set them up during the holidays. So the turnout is not going to be that great because people are shopping and doing their thing. It's a busy time of year now, so perfect time to do it when you don't want community that involved. Then they vote on it, and boom, just like that, done. Did they have to vote on it right now? No, they could have tabled it. I don't think you had to vote on it until April. But passed 6-1. They kind of played it off as it's for academic reasons.
I've never heard of conferences, and Joe, you might know more about this than I do, so I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to throw it out. But I've never heard of conferences having anything to do with academics.
Me either.
Ever. I
think that's just kind of
that's not only in high school, that's also in college.
It's a smoke screen. They figure they throw that out there, it's going to ease the pressure on the other topics. My whole issue is just the way they went about it. There's not that much, the public's going to form their own opinion because with the information out there, which
we have,
right, there's not a lot of information out there. We don't know what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4 years. We don't know what the works are in plan. There might be some other stuff in the works that we don't know about. Maybe we don't have to drive 81 miles on the average one way to a game. Maybe that conference is moving north. Maybe there's other things in the works.
And that's my argument. Maybe they are planning to move.
Maybe
north.
they are, but nobody's talking. Nobody's giving any information. The public, they get their information from the media. We get our information from other media outsources. We've reached out to some of the board members to come in, talk with us, tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Decline. No response. Yeah. Nobody's talking.
I'm not the person to talk to about this. I've heard that.
Well, then who is?
Yeah.
You got to get the public the information of what's going to happen because right now people are scared. It doesn't affect me. Bryson's done next year.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me at all.
Doesn't affect me.
But the sophomores and down, those sophomores are going to be seniors.
Yep.
What's in it for them? The talk is that you meet halfway to a neutral, point to play. That's one of the, that was thrown out there. Why would you do that? You're going to lose Railer Nation. You're going to lose fan base.
Yeah.
The Apollo, they have 2 schools with swim team. There goes our swim team. Because it's going to be hard to schedule teams because aren't a lot of those like a conference meet? I know it's like 3 or 4 teams that go to a meet and participate. Well, can't go to Central State 8 anymore. They have their own thing. How's that going to affect us? How's it going to affect sports that play early afternoon during the week? Baseball, golf. You know, these kids are already leaving school at 2:30, 3 o'clock to go to these meets. Now they got to leave at noon to make it to down south or, you know, otherwise. And that affects these schools too. They got to travel to Lincoln once. We have to travel to these other schools, which is an average of 81 miles one way.
Okay, playing devil's advocate, on the other side of the ball, you have the size of school. Lincoln's enrollment, we have not been increasing.
No.
I'd say we've been falling back. I mean, our city, unfortunately, has been shrinking numbers-wise, whereas schools such as Chatham, the other Springfield schools, they have been growing. Their numbers have increased, and I don't know the size, but they have increased quite a bit since Central State 8 has started. With them having additional numbers and Lincoln losing numbers, do we belong in that conference anymore? I mean, I'm not saying we can't compete, because let's face it, Lincoln, we have kids that are very tough-minded, smart kids that play athletics, and we compete solid, I think, in most of our athletic endeavors other than football. I think football may be the one that, you know, maybe we lack a little bit in. But at the same time, baseball, we're competing every year. Softball, we're competing every year. Volleyball, we're competing every year. Basketball, I mean, yeah, we win some championships. Girls basketball, I'm not really sure on. I'm thinking
it's on the uprise.
I think it's on the uprise. I think for the past few years, since we've joined Central State 8, I don't think we've been on the upper end of it. And I don't know those numbers, so I don't want to say that's exactly what it is. But I think most of the sports we compete in very well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not so much competing, it's the safety of our kids. You know, the reason we got out of the Big 12 was driving issues, too far away. Now Central State 8, you drive somewhere, Jacksonville's our farthest spot, it's all interstate. Yeah. You're driving 2-lane roads now to all these schools, you know. And once again, we don't know if there's anything else out there in the works. Nobody knows anything. This is just hearsay. What the information and what we have is what we're reporting. So everybody's going to form their own opinions, but
I mean, like you said, you know, playing baseball, you're an hour and a half, 2 hours away on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. That's not a good deal for our student athletes, because
you're leaving school.
It's student first,
right?
And at what point are they studying? I mean, are they have to study on a bus?
That's the thing.
That's
well,
not
you can study on the bus. You know how hard it is.
If one of the arguments was academics, then boy, that makes a tough argument right there.
Yeah. Phone lines are open, 737-3791. You can call and voice your concerns, or if you have any other information you'd like to pass along, feel free to give us a call. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm you know, you think about it, you try to look at the pros, you try to look at the cons.
A lot more cons at this point.
A heck of a lot more cons right now, just based on the information that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what academic things can be coming up that,
you know, none. You know, they had these meetings. None of the coaches in any sport were for it. So what's that tell you? Yeah. They're fine with Central State 8. To me, I think it's based on football, and that, you know, the academics was just a cover-up. Now, are we going to go the Apollo and be a juggernaut right from the get-go? No. We don't have a football coach right now. No. You got to get a good coach in here and turn the program around. Yeah, it's Central State 8 football is tough. You know, SHG, Rochester, Glenwood, you know, those are Jacksonville. Those are 4 solid teams, you know. But I don't know. I think the next year is going to be kind of interesting to see how things line up.
Like I said, you don't know. The Apollo may be moving north a little bit.
And we talked a little bit off air before we went on the show that the IHSA has proposed putting schools in a division.
Yep.
Just football. You know, where you kind of go look at enrollment, put yourself in a division, you know, for your rankings for playoffs. Yep. Now and then every 2 or 3 years they'll evaluate, because enrollment does fluctuate, goes up and down. Unfortunately, Lincoln's enrollment's going down, and like we mentioned, all these other schools are getting bigger. we're getting smaller.
Yep.
And, that takes away from your student-athlete pool where you don't have those kids that can, you go out in the hallway and get to play sport. It's hard to fill a team. It's hard to fill a football team because you got 11 guys each way, whereas basketball you got 5, 6, 7 kids. Yep. And it's tough. It's difficult.
Baseball, it's same kids day in, day out. I mean, baseball's made for the same kids play the same position, whereas football, you're going to have a lot more injuries, generally speaking.
So I guess my thing is just the way they went about things. Switching conferences. Now, if the Apollo was centrally located, it's a no-brainer. Go.
Yeah, again,
it's a no-brainer.
And that's another question right there is you would think that, the Corn Belt would have been kind of suited more for Lincoln with, Pontiac being probably the farthest trip.
Right. Well,
and all up and down the interstate.
Conferences these days are so unstable.
Yeah.
Because everybody's jumping ship. Central State's pretty solid. I mean, you have a good core there. But once again,
and the travel times.
Everybody's wanting to jump ship on conferences.
Good kid.
There we go.
Well, you know what?
There
Get that one ready, Lloyd.
Yep. Cue it up. Anyway,
that's terrific
there
pass.
We go. There's another outtake for you, Lloyd. Get on it.
Oh, boy.
But, everybody's jumping ship on these conferences. Muhammad Seymour, they're moving over. The rumor is Salem's getting out of the Apollo or trying to. I don't think anybody really knows anything at this point.
I don't think so either.
And like I said, the public, they're going to form their opinion, their concerns with the information out there. That's the only information we have. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying, well, I know you can't predict the future. Things are in the works and they don't want to come out and say this is what we're, but
I do like the idea of playing against schools our size. The unfortunate side about it is if you're wanting to compete for a state title in something like basketball, you're going to be playing against teams that do not have the speed that you're getting out of Central State.
And that's another thing that's going to hurt our basketball program. The teams that we're going to face in regionals, sectionals, are teams from Central State 8 that we're playing now. Not knocking the athleticism or the sports in the Apollo, that they're not as competitive. They may be.
Yeah, they may be. They may be good, but they're not going to have the speed.
They're not the teams that we're going to face down the road.
Yep.
And to schedule those games, it's hard to schedule games during the year because, they've already got conference games. You get maybe, 2 or 3 non-conference games a year that you can schedule. And if you don't face those teams through the year, you're not making yourself any better. You want to go beat up on the little guys and win by 25, 30 points every night, great. That's not making your program any better.
No.
Because
it'll hurt you, actually.
Yeah, the ultimate goal, what's the ultimate goal? Win a state championship.
Yeah.
Well, you got to play the best to be the best, and that's not what we're going to be doing. What?
I don't know what you're doing.
What'd you point at?
What are you doing? What are you talking about now?
I don't know.
There you go. Thanks, Joe Ryan. I agree. No, man. Like I said, I think we're going to miss that speed. We switch conferences for basketball, especially. Again though, you're getting into schools that's the same size, and competitively, that's what you should be doing. You should be competing against schools that are similar to yours. Now with our program with basketball, it's kind of a standout program. It's a step above, so you're really needing that to play those bigger schools constantly. But with the rest of our programs, maybe it'd be a better deal.
Maybe.
We'll I still hate the idea though of our kids, getting back at 11 or 12 o'clock at night from playing sports and having to be at school the next day. So
you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's kids are graduating, so.
Oh, they graduated like 25 years ago.
They were in the Big 12.
They were independent.
Yeah, it's funny.
Back in the day.
Football's taking the blunt of all this, absolutely. And it's probably because of the beatings we took this year in football. Really, these are the worst beatings they've taken since I've been there, this year. And, most of those games were over at halftime, and I think people were worried about the kids' safety of, holy cow. Football's taking the blunt of it, but I think it's because of the beatings we took this year. So.
And that's the people, we talk about pros and cons. All the pros are coming from football people. And maybe that's why it's just kind of putting the limelight on them that they're in favor of it, nobody else is. You get the snot beat out of you day in, day out in the Central State 8. I want to move too, absolutely. But that's not the issue. I mean, the issue is drive times, stuff like that. Once again, if the Apollo was centrally located like the Central State 8, that's a no-brainer. Do it. Absolutely. I want to see our football, program succeed just as much as anybody else. I've been involved in youth football for years and tried to build that program up. So it's not like I don't want them to succeed. It's just all about, safety of the kids, education. That stuff comes first. And, that's just concerns that I've talked to people as well. People have approached me wanting to know my opinion. They're telling me theirs, and you just kind of try to relay that on.
Thought maybe some people would call and give us their opinions.
Well, I've been throwing that into people.
Lauren, will you run out to your car and give us a call?
Yeah, so phone lines are open, 737-3791. We got 20 more minutes if you want to call in, voice your concern. All you can do is, if you're concerned, get a hold of the administration at the high school. Voice it to them. I guess that's the only thing I can tell you.
I don't know if can it change between now and April?
We can't
opt out, can we?
I don't know if it's official. I don't know. I just know that they voted to move. I don't know if the Apollo has made it official where they accepted us. That I don't know. Joe, do you know?
No, I don't know how it all works. No. Look at me. I barely get here on time. I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I tell you what, there's a lot of critics outside of Lincoln also.
Absolutely.
Talking about this. I mean, Channel 1450 is completely against it as well.
All right, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I got a question for three of you.
Yeah.
I don't really know the financial status of Lincoln Community High School, but when you start talking about increasing travel expense by at least double, maybe 3 times, has anybody looked into the finance side of budgeting that out and what it's going to cost to get to and from?
Right.
Including, there was talk about neutral sites for athletic events. When we start talking about losing revenue and either paying, for somebody to host a game, has anybody looked into the finance side of what all this is going to cost? Because obviously I pay tax.
Right.
And everybody else on the show pays tax. The next thing they're going to do is raise the taxes to cover the cost of the extra travel expense to Charleston and Mattoon and Effingham and Rantoul or whoever else is going to end up in the conference. But, it all goes back to people don't care what it costs because they'll just go around and, we'll just raise the tax and let everybody else pay for it. And was there any ever discussion about what the financial status is of the community, of the high school, if they can budget in?
Yeah, and that's a great question, and I don't know if they have taken that in consideration. One of the things I've heard was, they're going to charter a bus for these long away games. Chartering a bus is very, very, very expensive. You're talking $1,400, $1,500. So that was kind of just thrown out there.
I was going to say, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and I don't know that they have looked inside, on that side of financial. We don't really know much of anything right now. We're just kind of going with what we've been told, and that's not something that's been out there. So, that's a great question, and hopefully they're going to address that here in the near future.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We got another caller, Jim? No?
Is the caller still on there?
All right, well, the phone lines are still open, 737-3791. That was a great question right there. Financial, with the way the state of Illinois is right now, everybody's backlogged, so you're not getting the funds necessary that you need to run some of these programs. So that's something you got to look into, the financial side. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
You there? Go ahead.
Hello?
Yep.
You're on the air.
You are on the air.
Oh, yeah, I got another question.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who's going to be covering all the sports, like newspapers and stuff? That's going to be, like Springfield Journal covers us, and who's going to cover us then?
Well, that's another solid question. Right now, we have a lot of internet-based news. Channel 1450 does a lot with Lincoln. Probably going to lose that.
But you're not going to see like any writing in the Springfield Journal or the Pantagraph.
Well,
maybe. I mean, you might be seeing some of it from
You'll see a little
Journal. I was going to say, with Taylorville in there as well as
Taylorville,
Lincoln.
you may see a little bit more maybe in the Decatur paper.
Yeah.
Maybe some papers further south. We still have the Lincoln Courier, and you still have one of the best sports programs out there. It's WLCN. We'll step it up as well. With everything media based right now online, there's all kinds of information to be out there. We do the Facebook, we do the tweet. We do all stuff like that. As far as paper based and the bigger outlets, that's up in the air right now. You may lose the Springfield. You may use the Springfield area, the channel 1450 and stuff like that.
Are we going to have you guys go down there and announce the games for us so we can hear it over the radio?
Absolutely.
The ones aren't going?
Yeah, WLCN will travel. We are community based. We bring all the sports to you.
We were at the Rose Bowl yesterday.
We will definitely keep doing that, right, Jim?
Right.
Yeah.
Jim says, yeah.
Big dog Jim says, yeah. And it may be harder. There may be broadcasters that can't do it.
It's going to be hard on Jim.
Hard on Jim to do that.
It may be a touch and go situation. Hey, can you broadcast this game? Such and such can't make it. It's too far of a drive. But yeah, we will still cover all sports, and obviously we're going to have to kick it up a notch because we may be losing some of the media.
Sure.
Right.
Earlier.
Okay. Well, we've been really strong supporters. I support all the athletics in high school. And we've already made our minds up that when we start traveling, especially through down to Salem and Charleston and those places, we won't be going just because of safety on the roads and stuff.
Sure.
Yep.
Right.
It's understandable.
Long rides.
Yep. Thanks for your call.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thanks, call.
Tweet is on.
Tweet is on.
Callers curious or listeners curious. Let's see what each of the coaching staffs think about all the sports. I think we covered that a little bit earlier. I can't speak for. I haven't really talked to any of the coaches. We don't have a football coach. That's a good point too.
Just from hearsay, I mean, none of the coaches were wanting to make the move. Yeah. That's all I can tell you. I don't know. I haven't.
I've heard the same thing. It sounds like
somebody said they talked to Dietrich. Was that you?
I did not know.
No, Jim. That's your relation. He says he's not really in favor of it, but kind of on the fence. And who knows? Maybe 3 or 4 years down the road, they'll be like, "Oh man, this is the greatest thing we've done." I just don't know.
Yeah.
And just don't know. Really don't.
You really don't.
I really don't. It's just, you're back and forth on it. You want to find something positive out of it to tell somebody, but
I remember we moved from the Big 12. I didn't want to. But boy, once you got involved in it, you got to the short drives and all that, it was pretty nice. And
I was in school. I was in school that time, and we were all looking forward to it.
The move.
So yeah.
No, it's because drive times.
Absolutely. Well, our parents were going to be at all the games and stuff.
And that's another thing I was approached with over down in Collinsville. Some of these parents aren't going to be able to make some games.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of them.
So you're going to probably lose some fan base. Raider Nation's going to take a hit.
Well, and some of the family, not necessarily the mom and dads, but maybe aunts and uncles and whatnot.
Right.
A lot of people work in the Springfield area. Central State 8's based out of Springfield.
And we have an older fan base too that they may not have child or grandson in the program, but they just love Rayler sports.
Yeah,
they love Rayler sports. They follow Rayler sports. Are they going to make that drive down to Effingham, Mattoon? Probably not.
Yeah.
So home games, I'm sure they'll still be there, but we might take a hit when we go, on the road. Just don't know. There's a lot of unknowns out there right now, but that was one of the concerns I was approached with, was our fan base may take a hit.
I think I just can't see how it couldn't. I mean, you're going 4-lane road down to 2-lane roads.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in the past. Yeah, there was an accident on the way to a game in Ottawa, years ago. And that was all interstate. I mean, this is just all speculation, just throwing it out there. You're driving 2 lanes, dead of winter. Might be clear going down. Might be a blizzard on the way home. You never know. It's just, those are things to look at, Going to be a lot of weather watchers. Got another tweet?
No, this is a comment for, are we taking another break or no? I was going to say that'd be after the break.
You want to take a break? Let's take another break. We'll come back and we'll finish up this topic. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats on 96. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM. Streaming live on the web, WLCNonline.com. Scott Kirby, Joe Ryan. Jake Johnston just bolted on us. So we do have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yes. Is there a chance that you can announce when our next board meeting is at the high school, so all of the fans can be at the school board meeting to voice their comments?
If I don't know when the next one is.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I'm sure there's one probably coming up soon. Do you know when it is?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got Loin over there working his fingers off on that.
Yeah, he's going to look it up here. If he can find it, we will definitely throw that out there.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for the call. And that's one thing, we're just kind of an outlet. We don't know all the facts. We really don't know much of anything, Joe.
It's really why I'm kind of quiet, because I really don't know anything. I know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of throwing out what I've heard, concerns that were voiced to me. If you want to find out, you got to go to the top dog, and that's the Board of Education and an administration. Maybe they can fill you in a little more than what we have, because obviously we don't have a whole lot. And that was one of your statements off air. I wish somebody would call in that knows something. Because
tell us stuff.
Yeah, tell us what's going on, what we can do, what we can expect. The
one thing you can expect is some good NFL action tomorrow. I'm going to tell you that.
And I thought that was over.
Yeah, it is for you guys.
Yeah.
Big games tomorrow.
So we're switching the NFL.
No, we're changing gears.
Okay, we're changing gears. NFL tomorrow, last of the regular season games. Some games on the line. We got the NFC North Division up for grabs. Minnesota, Green Bay, the winner of that wins the division. Both teams are going to make the playoffs. America's favorite team is out. The Chicago Bears did not make the playoffs.
America's team's in a big game tomorrow.
America's team.
Big game tomorrow. And they put the Panther game the same time as America's team's game, the Cardinals. And really, if the Panthers could lose tomorrow to Tampa Bay and the Cardinals win, we get home field throughout.
Okay. Real quick, breaking news. Next board meeting, Tuesday, January 19th. That's according to the Lincoln Community High School website.
Nice job on that, Lloyd.
Good job, Lloyd. He's our information highway. We'd also like to send out our condolences. Rayler Nation lost a great fan, a great coach yesterday. Larry Engel passed. He's been involved with Rayler sports in the past, a football coach, assistant basketball coach. So we'd like to send out our condolences to the Engel family.
Yeah, Larry, a good dude. Had a lot of fun with him over the years. He was
a great guy.
Good football coach. Fun out there at the golf course. Always had a smile on his face. Always wanted to talk about stuff.
To you. Yep.
Good guy.
Great guy. He will be missed.
Now, back to the bowl games. You watching the bowl games yesterday?
We weren't even at the bowl games yet. We were in.
We were at the Rose Bowl yesterday. I already made that comment.
Yeah, we just got back. We took the red eye last night to fly back, so we don't have footage.
Well, here's the question I wanted to throw out there: do you think this playoff system that they've put in force, do you think it messes up the bowl games?
No, not really.
I just think that all the games yesterday were. I didn't stay up and watch the last.
I didn't watch hardly any football yesterday.
They were all lopsided. It was like there are people. Iowa was playing Stanford.
Yeah,
I just think that's a mismatch before it ever got started.
Well, Iowa's ranked 5th. Stanford was 6th. How's that a mismatch?
Yeah, I guess it could be. Well, I've never understood how the rankings all work in college football to get it down to that level, but I do like the playoff system. I really like to see them make the playoff system more
extend
teams.
It?
Yes, 8, 12, I don't know.
I don't see it going past more than 8 just because of that's more games, more weeks you have to play.
Yeah, these but the bowl games this year they haven't been excited.
No.
Well,
I mean, Clemson.
I think the Alabama-Michigan State's a mismatch, and I mean, obviously it was.
Yeah, Alabama wins that. Clemson beats. Who Clemson beat?
Yeah, so I did see
Michigan State. No, who did Clemson
No, Alabama beat up on Michigan State. Yeah, who did Clemson beat? Oklahoma. And that was
wow, yeah,
a closer game than the Michigan State game. Alabama's just. So then we're going to come back to an Alabama-Clemson national championship game, which brings us back to the South. Here they come at us. And that should be a great game, but you got to think Alabama's going to take that game.
I would think. Clemson's pretty good, though. Should be a good game. And that's what? Next Monday?
Next Monday. I think that's the 11th. That'll be right.
You might be.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes.
Thank you, Lloyd.
All right, so we just bouncing from the NFL to the NCAA football.
Well, it was next on my criteria sheet.
Was it on your itinerary there I laid out in front of you?
Tell you what.
We were flying blind today, so for flying blind, not too bad.
We've got to make this thing a more well-oiled machine.
Well, when you take a week off, it just kind of crumbles. You get out of the swing of things. You can't find cords.
There are some nice seats out here.
Forget how to hook stuff up. You kind of get out of the swing of things.
You're absolutely right.
But now we're back. We're into it. We got no more breaks. Holidays are over. Back to reality.
You glad the holidays are over?
No. That means I have to go back to work Monday. I've been off since December 18th.
You've been off since December 18th?
I will be in a state of depression tomorrow. So don't even bother calling me because I'll snap.
Oh, all day long.
I'll be just laying around. I got to go back to work.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's true.
So it's tough. It's tough on a guy to be off that long. See how I did that, Lloyd?
Sounds to me like it's pretty hard on you.
No, it's tough to be off that long and then have to go back to work.
Exactly right. There is, again, today out here, there's an inventory reduction sale going
Inventory reduction at Jake's. Come on in. Tell him the Cheap Seats sent you, and he will make you one heck of a deal.
During his inventory reduction sale.
Sell.
I just thought maybe that's what every store had going on everywhere.
You like to
Isn't everyone having an inventory reduction sale?
Usually when you sell something, it reduces your inventory.
Jake thinks he's got something special going on out here.
He thinks he's cool.
Inventory reduction sale. I like that.
That means he's really desperate to sell stuff. That's just a fancy way of putting it.
That's good stuff right there. Inventory reduction. Red tag sale.
BOGO. How about a BOGO sale? Buy one, get one.
Ooh, how about that out here?
He just marked the prices up double so it'll look good.
Triple. There is some nice stuff out here. This is nice couches.
Yeah, and every time we come out here, what, once or twice a month? There's always different stuff. So the inventory reduction sale must be working.
The IRS inventory reduction sale is really working out well for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and tax season's right around the corner, so you get that big old refund. You come to Jake's, give it to him, and he'll give you some furniture.
He loves tax refunds.
Yes, he does. Yep, he does. Well, Joe, that was a quick hour.
For some people.
For some. For others,
it was an eternity.
Not so quick. So
it was an eternity for
we will be back next week. Not sure where. Do we know where? Maybe Joe's. Maybe.
Outside.
Well, last time we were there, it was 60 degrees, and that was in December. So thanks for tuning in. Always catch us here, 96.3, and everything else we do on Channel 5 and the replay on WLCNonline.com. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Good day.